Congressman Adam Schiff and Congresswoman Judy held a press conference here at the Mothers Club in Pasadena Friday to discuss sequestration cuts and their impact on educational resources in the local community. Major cuts in government spending set to affect a broad range of federally funded programs has become the nation's latest fiscal crisis, known to the public as the Sequester. These substantial budget cuts and their effects to the area of education was the focus during a press conference on Friday. Congressman Adam Schiff and Congresswoman Judy hosted the event along with Mayor Bill Bogard and Pasadena Unified School District Superintendent John Gundry to criticize the across-the-board cuts. Chu and Schiff spoke out against what they say are slashes to spending without considering who gets hurt. The cuts set off a public debate and highlighted further discord in our government. The two Democrats accused the other side of playing politics with public services, especially education funds.
Can I just get you to comment on whether or not sequestration cuts are a sign of a complete breakdown in Congress?
Well, I think it's a pretty good sign. We have an incredibly dysfunctional Congress, and I think it's probably the worst in a generation. I hope that with the meetings the President is having now, and with the impact of the sequester now propagating throughout the country, that some of those GOP members will come to the table, that we're willing to close those special interest loopholes.
There is a group there that is so conservative that they would be content with just going from one manufactured crisis to the next. But we know that we cannot have this country go forward in this way. It is very dysfunctional.
Pasadena schools face an estimated $2 million of cuts in federal spending. According to Schiff's office, PUSD alone would be hit with a 5.9% reduction, totaling almost $900,000, targeting Title I, Title II, and IDEA funds. These cuts, mounted on previous budget cuts of $26 million since 2010, further exacerbate PUSD's efforts in providing quality education and programs with less economic resources and less staff. Superintendent John Gundry says challenges facing the district have been especially difficult at a time when district parents expect higher quality education and programs for their children, despite dwindling resources. Last month, PUSD announced layoff notices for almost 81 employees to close a $7 to $12 million budget deficit.
They don't want to hear it from us that we don't have the funds for it, because they think, well, it's your responsibility to do that. And they don't really want to worry about where the money's going to come from. They think that that's our business to figure out how to properly fund and run state-of-the-art programs. And so my response to them is, well, you know, it is my job to do that. I said, so what I asked from you is for you to contact your legislators. And I know from experience that if legislators hear it enough, you can change their minds.
We caught up with Schiff and Chu after the conference to discuss what they see as the significant impacts of sequestration if a compromise is not reached in Washington.
Unless something is done, there will be cuts that will be already happening. And in fact, our federal employees are getting furlough notices for days in which they will be unpaid. This will have an effect, for instance, at the airports. We'll have workers there who will have less days, and what that means is longer lines at the airport, some say as long as 4 hours. It means fewer meat inspectors. Businesses such as restaurants and grocery stores may even have to shut down because they have to have those inspectors in order to work.
Probably the most significant impact is that 750,000 Americans will be unemployed. We're going to lose that number of jobs, and that is just devastating. It makes no sense for us to pursue a policy that would knowingly endanger 750,000 jobs.
In Pasadena, Paulo Alejandria, CCN.